Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about why I am done with streaming services. I am not paying for any subscription right now at all. And the only one I might plan to be paying for in the future is to pirate stuff because honestly, piracy is so much more convenient, especially related to movies and TV shows than streaming services could ever be. Because especially with movies and TV shows and streaming those, you have to go through like three or four different ones in order to watch even one semi-large show. Like for example, go watch that video game donkey video where he was talking about the Pokemon show, where he said that you had to go through like four different streaming services in order to watch the entirety of the Pokemon show. It's fucking ridiculous. And this is just one example of the many different streaming services that are out there nowadays that just want to suck the consumer's money dry as much as possible because they realize, oh, we can make a streaming service and put our own stuff on it so that the customer has to go on our streaming service and we get all the money and it's like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, it is a hassle to watch movies super conveniently nowadays, but at the same time, it's also easiest, like, not the easiest it's ever been, but it is very, very easy to pirate stuff. But again, at the same time, it's also the hardest to actually legally watch it because of how damn expensive it is a lot of the time. When it comes to music streaming, I understand it a lot more than movie streaming and all of that, and not wanting to pirate it because with music streaming, a lot of the time you pay for one service, you get almost every album and anything you want on the streaming service. The problem is with that is that you aren't paying the artist anything. But the problem is with pirating their music is that you aren't giving them anything at all. At least with streaming, you're giving them a tiny bit of money. It's like barely anything. It's like less than a cent, but you're still giving them like an ever so slight amount. But again, with the problem with privacy, with the problem with piracy is that you aren't giving them anything. So honestly, if you don't want to, if you want to completely ditch streaming services like I have, and I have moved towards music piracy as well, what I do, and a lot of other people that do, and a lot of other people that do, no, and a lot of other people do when they go over to music piracy, is they pay for the music if it's from a small artist that actually needs your money, that like needs them. Every artist needs money to live. I get that. But if they desperately need it, they're not like a multi-million dollar like band or whatever. If they're like a very small indie artist, pay in any which way for an album, for merch, for a concert. I know that not all of that money goes to the artist, which sucks because capitalism is just not good for a lot of musicians. Because let's be honest, capitalism is good for rich people and shareholders. It is terrible for people that want to make a living off of selling their art to people that are willing to buy it, mind you. People who are willing to support that. Even then, capitalism as a system is just not very good for supporting artists. And it's just a shame because there is no fully ethical way to support an artist. I think piracy is completely justified, whether you want it for convenience sake or you just don't have the money, which is, again, fine. I think it's okay, especially if you're like taking it from like a really large company that doesn't care much anyway. Piracy is more of a copyright issue more than a stealing issue because piracy is not stealing. You are not taking anything from that company that you are, just getting a license from. You're just doing that. You're getting a license to get access to it or just owning the music files, but you are not taking those music files from them. You are not like borrowing them access from that. Like that is not what piracy is. Again, you're just getting access or ownership to an album, to a plugin or something, whatever, just anything. And again, I think that piracy is justified in almost every case, except for the people that put viruses in it. That's not justified at all. But again, the people who are just broke, who don't have enough money, a lot of the time to even live properly, which is understandable because goddamn things are expensive nowadays, especially with like tariffs and how terrible that has been for the economy. I can completely understand pirating, and again, I think it's justified in almost all cases. But again, the problem is with that, especially when consuming art, is that these artists also need to live. They also need to get money to survive and live, and including you. You also need to, but you don't have that much money either, so you can't really support the artist all that much either. It's just this never-ending hellhole that capitalism has just put everybody into. And again, it rewards people for being rich, and it just doesn't support people who are poor, who just need money to live. who are actually reliant on donations and stuff like that, even then, a lot of the time, because of streaming services, they still just don't get money at all. Like, it is sad. It's genuinely sad. Just the way that the internet is going nowadays, the way that everything is a streaming service, how even fucking digital audio workstations now have streaming services. A lot of them are just bi-monthly, like fucking Pro Tools is a, like, god damn, dude. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, why is everything a streaming service? Oh, wait, it's to get money out of consumers. That's why. Because capitalism, because we need to improve our profits so our shareholders are happy. Because yippee, capitalism is a good system, guys. It's amazing. It's totally not bad for the economy in a lot of ways. No, I'm not saying it's a completely flawed system, mind you. I'm saying that generally for like smaller artists and indie artists, it is not a very good system, unfortunately. I don't know a better alternative. I am not somebody well versed enough to know that. But again, all I know is that it's just not amazing for a lot of people out there right now, especially with everything increasing in price. But besides that, again, the main point, the main takeaway from this video is if you want to pirate things, I think that is fine. I don't think there's really anything wrong with that. Unless you are not supporting the artists that you actually, feel like you should be supporting. If you have enough money and you feel like you're willing to shell out enough and you like an artist a lot and you are willing to pay for that piece of music, just go ahead and do it. Because again, you are actually supporting the artist. Even if some of it does go to fucking PayPal or whatever, at the very least, a good amount of it is going to the artist rather than, again, on streaming services where they don't get jack shit. And again, I understand that pirating, they don't get any money at all. So again, it's just this never ending, just ethical battle of which one's better. But again, I think just generally, even if you're going to stick with streaming services, I would still say just, again, buy music whenever you can. If you have enough money and if you have an artist that you really like and they're really small and they need the money to survive, like just like you do, if you are willing to give and take, then again, just pay for it. You can buy it on Bandcamp. Most of the time, they'll have, especially indie artists, will have their albums on Bandcamp, or you can buy their merch from their store. And again, I understand that not all of this profit will go to the artist, but again, the good thing is that some of it will, at the very least. It's not like a modicum amount like with Spotify and Apple Music. So that is basically going to be it, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.